Right.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. This is Susan Walsh from South Carolina, and I am thrilled to welcome each and every one of you from your home to our homes to share with you what might cause a phenomenon, and it truly is called Forsage. And he is going to share with you some information that literally can be life changing and is life changing for a lot of people around the world right now. So you couldn't be in a better place at a better time with a better presenter. He is an 8-figure earner in the marketplace. He's been in internet marketing, but now he is an expert. And that's what I love to call anybody with the mind that he has, and certainly the energy. He is an expert in this field, and he can certainly guide and lead all of us to financial independence. And we don't make income claims. You know, you may not make anything. If you don't do anything, don't expect. But if you will follow our simple system and a leadership team that is a force to be reckoned with. Let's say it like that, as we say in the South. So with no further ado, Mike Klingler, you're awesome. We so appreciate you and your leadership and your vision. So my seatbelt's fastened, so take it away, my friend.
Hey, thanks so much, Susan. Absolutely a joy working with you and Wendy and the leadership you guys bring. It's absolutely phenomenal. So welcome everybody. Yeah, you're gonna see something today that, just like me, you've never seen before. It is absolutely paradigm shifting. It is revolutionary in the truest sense. Before I pull up my slides, I just wanted to have a candid chat with you about what brought me here. Uh, and how hard that was to happen. So I don't know how many of you were involved with some of the crypto things, programs that came about that ended up running off with a lot of people's crypto. This is not that. When I first heard how much money people were making here, how much crypto, Ethereum in this case, people were making and how fast they were making it, I just assumed it was one of those things, and I didn't want to have anything to do with it because fool me once, right? Fool me twice, and it's on me. So, if you know what I'm talking about, some of you may not. There's programs out there where you put your Bitcoin or your cryptocurrency into a platform, and then they promise to pay these returns. This is not that. But at one time, I ended up losing a lot of money in one of those programs years ago, and because I just didn't know any better. And so I put my crypto in there. A lot of you might have heard of this. They're paying all these great returns. It seems phenomenal. And then if something starts to shift, in that case, Bitcoin started to go down. This was around 2018, early 2018. So people start to want to take their Bitcoin out and the whole thing collapses. They decide they close down and run off with $500 million or whatever. And a lot of it was mine. So this is not that. When I first heard and saw people who really didn't have marketing experience, people who really struggled in the industry of network marketing, people who've been in program after program but never really got it off the ground. When I saw so many of those types of people coming into this and making 20,000 their first month, 30,000 in a couple of months, I just assumed it was one of those and I didn't want to have anything to do with it. Finally, some leaders, some really big leaders that I respected were getting involved. And I thought, I better take a look at this. And they kept saying things like decentralized and peer-to-peer payments and totally different. And I was like, okay. And so I decided to take a look. And I'm going to pull up some slides here and kind of share with you what I learned. It's been just absolutely incredible. Now I've only been with this for 3.5 weeks, and the results that I've gotten and that I've seen people get is staggering. So it's called Forsage. Now the first paradigm shift, the first revolutionary concept that's pretty hard to wrap your head around is it's not a company, it's not a business. And that's the thing about Ethereum smart contracts. You don't have to have a business or a company for there to be a value exchange. So this is a complete revolution. Now the flip side, the good side of that is it's just us. It's the community working together. The smart contract, which we'll talk a little bit about today. I don't want to make this a crypto education class, but the smart contract that makes Ethereum the number 2 cryptocurrency, out of thousands of cryptocurrencies out there, right? It's the number 2 biggest one behind Bitcoin because of these smart contracts, the ability for you to, let's say, pay Ethereum into a community, for example, and have it all just work the way it's supposed to, pay out the way it's supposed to, without a business or a company or a bank or anything to have to be involved, that's what makes it so valuable. There's so many uses and applications that are going to happen. This is the first that's released that's so advanced. That's the first example of what Ethereum can do. So it really is a phenomenon. I'm seeing it just sweep across the entire network marketing industry, sweep across the opportunity industry, pull people out of things that they were so excited about and doing elsewhere. And I was like, what's going on? And I had to take a look. It is an absolute phenomenon. It's not just attracting people that have never been successful before, it's attracting big leaders left and right. And I'm seeing this as an opportunity. A lot of you have heard the expression recruit up. You know, if you've ever kind of been struggling in network marketing, this is your chance to be able to reach out to some 7 and 8 figure earners that you would have never been able to really have anything for, and you're going to get their attention with this. So this is a true decentralized Ethereum smart contract. And what that means is peer-to-peer payments. And I kind of talked about that at the opening. That's where when you pay into this to buy a smart contract, you're buying the opportunity to experience the smart contract. You aren't giving that money to Forsage. They're not holding it in a Forsage wallet. It is literally immediately, because of the way the smart contract works, immediately being paid to your own wallet. This means it's incredibly safe in regard to it can't collapse. It can't ever get to the point where it just suddenly ends. It can't. It's a revolutionary concept because it's immediately being paid to you or to the community the way it's supposed to. And by the way, the other thing about these smart contracts, these Ethereum smart contracts, that is what makes Ethereum so successful, the number 2 largest cryptocurrency behind Bitcoin. What makes them so important is the fact that you can pay Ethereum and not have to have a business or an entity involved. So you can participate, for example, in a community like you are here and get access to that community without a business or a company in between. So the applications for this are going to be endless in agriculture and all businesses and industries. And I'm just wrapping my head around, and everybody's just wrapping their head around all the ways it can be used. This is the first advanced application of an Ethereum smart contract. And that's why it's so exciting for people. The fact that it's safe, the fact that they're not trusting a company with their money who can run off with it in the end. It's completely new in every single way. Again, Forsage never touches or holds your crypto or funds. That's extremely important. It changes the game. So what's the product? You're purchasing the opportunity to experience the most advanced real-world application of an Ethereum smart contract that's ever been created. You're purchasing the smart contract itself, and you're going to experience what a smart contract is. You're gaining access to a community that supports one another in navigating the Ethereum and cryptocurrency landscape. So for example, this was the first time I ever got Ethereum, and I didn't even know how to download a wallet. You know what I mean? I didn't know how to change the settings in order to decrease the gas prices. And if that's new for you, it was for me too. The gas is supposed to be a small transaction fee that you pay when you purchase something with Ethereum. It's like a very small fee that goes to the miners, they're called, who process all of this in the cryptocurrency world. This doesn't have to do with Forsage. This is how cryptocurrency works. And I needed help with that. I didn't know what to do. I saw the gas prices were really high, like $13 for a little transaction. And it come to learn that's because when the network is really highly in use, the gas prices can be higher, but there's a little setting where you can lower it. You just take a little longer for the transaction to go through. So I wanted to lower it from $13 to, like $3 or something more reasonable. And this community showed me how. There are people here to help you navigate all of this. That's what you're getting access to. You're getting access to the smart contract itself and to see and experience how it all works. But you're also getting access to a community that helps you navigate all of this. And it's really, really valuable. You're making money bringing smart contract technology to the world. And you're making a lot of money. So again, there's no guarantees, guys. And we've got to emphasize that because, for some reason, some people just don't know that already. Like, it just seems like that would be obvious, that it's based on what you produce and what your team produces. I will share that we do have an amazing team building strategy that's allowing us to get these kinds of results. But it still is based on what you and or your team produces together in terms of what your results are. But I want to give you an idea because I've never seen anything like this ever. I've been in the network marketing industry, at least affiliated with it in some way or another since I was in my early 20s. So we're coming up on 25, 26 years. I've been in and around the affiliate marketing world for decades. I've never seen anything produced like this for people. Again, people that have really struggled to see any results at all, getting big results here because of the buzz around crypto, but also the excitement around such an advanced version of an Ethereum smart contract that allows peer-to-peer payments. Like we talked about, just completely changes the game. So here's Jordan sharing that he made $471. You get paid in Ethereum, but at the time that it's paid out, in this case, he got 1.175 Ethereum in his first 12 days. That translated into $471 at the time that it was deposited into his own account, not Forsage's wallet, his own wallet. But it's actually gone up since then. So everyone I'm sharing this with you has actually earned a lot more in dollars than this shows because Ethereum's gone way up in the last few days. But he made 1.175 in 12 days. Here's somebody, Deborah, made 1.425 ETH in 2 weeks. That's $572. Again, much more actually, because it's gone up since then. And by the way, guys, I got started 3.5 weeks ago. I got started 3.5 weeks ago, and these are all people that were part of the team that have come in that short time. And again, quite a few of these people, I've never seen them make anything in a lot of programs that they've tried for many years. That's why this is so incredible to me. Here's D, who made 1.7 ETH, which is translated into $682. And that would have been in a very short period of time. She says, the awesome thing about mine is, yes, I have one person under me, but $612 I received within 24 hours of signing up. So $612, she said, I received within 24 hours of signing up, and it all came from overflow on X4. X4 is one of the two different payment plans. I didn't receive the other $70 till a week later when I added someone. So be patient, it will come. So the team building strategy can really be powerful. We're going to talk about that. Michelle shares at about 2 weeks, she made 2.625 ETH. That's a little over $1,000. Again, a lot more actually, because it's gone up. Here's D in 19 days, 3.15 ETH. That's $1,263. Tim here in 2 weeks, 4.275 ETH. That's about $1,700 that he got. It's actually much more because it went up. Rich says 8.4 ETH he got in 3 weeks. At the time, when he received it, it was worth $3,300. Again, 3 weeks. All these people have entered into my team within the last 3.5 weeks, some of them even in a shorter period of time. This is incredible because a lot of these people, I've never seen them make any money anywhere. All they did was spend money on advertising, marketing, or not know what to do. And so I'm seeing a lot of people that have never succeeded before getting these kinds of results. And that's what's blowing my mind and has me so excited. Here's Ed Cox, 7.55 ETH in 18 days. That translated into $3,000. Here's Kim Davis in 14 days, 11.675 ETH. She's worked for the post office. I've seen her, really, really work hard on a limited schedule, for, I could literally say years and never make a profit ever in the programs she's been in and in multiple programs and different strategies, different methods. She really wanted it. She was loyal. She was faithful. She was consistent, but she always was spending more money than she was making. And here, she's not spending any money other than just joining the program. And she's at 11.675 ETH, $4,682 that translated into in 14 days. And it's just the beginning. It's absolutely amazing. Here's Aaron, 18 days, for 12.7 ETH, over $5,000 in 18 days. John, 13 days, 17 ETH, that's over $7,000. Here's Oldest. He goes, I don't know if it's okay to share it, but so these are people sharing in the group. And it is absolutely okay because it's inside the group. He goes, I don't know if it's okay to share it, but I like this new part-time project. Here are my first 6 days results, 18.275 ETH, over $7,000. He enrolled 2 people. And see, what's making this work so well, guys, is there's such a buzz around crypto, and there's an even bigger buzz around peer-to-peer payments for the first time in this way, where a company isn't holding it. It's truly decentralized, truly decentralized. So people are really excited about that aspect of it. And so it's just so easy to get, people interested in and wanting to go with it. So people that have really struggled before can just take off with it. That's what's making this so effective. It's just the right timing, right place, right time. It's exactly what it is. Tony Pete here, 17 days, 21 ETH. It's over 8 grand. I mean, I saw this guy work really, really hard with a great program, and he couldn't make any money with it. Not that he wouldn't after 6 months, a year more, or 2 years more, plugging away, after, all this personal development and stuff that people got to go through typically to see a dime. And I understand that. I encourage mentorship. I encourage personal growth. But to be able to have a program where people can finally step in like Tony and in 17 days make over 8 grand, it is very, very gratifying. Jeremy James, he says he's in about 3 weeks, 24 grand, almost 61 ETH in 3 weeks. Michael Glass, again, a guy that I've seen struggle in program after program. And here he is at 3 weeks, 65 ETH, 26 grand. It's just mind boggling. Robert Taylor, 23 days in, 75 ETH, over 30 grand. It's life changing, guys. And it's just person after person after person. Here's my son's position. He's 16 years old. I placed 2 people under his position. Oh no, 3's been placed because my upline, because the team building strategy, my upline placed somebody. I placed 2 for a total of 3 under his position. He joined 3.5 weeks ago, the same day I did. And 79 ETH, 31 grand. I told my kids, I'm going to set you up a position. I'm going to sign you up each underneath me, and I'm going to build there, and that's going to be your college fund. I didn't know that I was going to pay for their college in a matter of a month or two. My daughter's position, signed up the same day, 3.5 weeks ago, 116 ETH in my daughter's position. She's 19 tomorrow. We celebrated her birthday yesterday because she'll be leaving back to college, but she's 19 years old, $46,000. And I placed 2 people underneath her position and started working with them. And because it's so easy to sell and market and share, like in a way that, when I say that, I got to emphasize, in a way, like we're not twice as easy, not 5 times as easy, maybe like 20 or 30 times easier than anything I've ever seen. But for whatever reason, the timing's right. And people just want it in a way I've never seen them want anything. It's absolutely incredible, the response rate. Some of us were talking that we're batting 100 for 100. Like everybody says yes. It's just ridiculous. And I'm not going to say that's going to be your results, but because I've been around marketing and business for a while, obviously I circle myself with a group of people that have been looking for business opportunities or building a network marketing business. But guys, when I compare the results I'm seeing with this and that the people who've struggled are seeing, like I just shared some examples, I've never seen anything. I can't even express how wildly different it is. It's just absolutely incredible. That's why I call it a true phenomenon. It's an absolute phenomenon. It's life-changing, and it's an opportunity for a lot of people to get a cash injection. So I'm going to go look inside the platform. But before I go in there, let me just speak about that for a moment. What I mean by cash injection. So a lot of people have been building in my primary business. I have a primary company. Maybe some of you have a primary company that you're building that you really believe in and you love in network marketing or whatever it may be. But there's a lot of people that I've been helping in there that are really struggling. And if I don't get them a cash injection fast, I'm going to lose them. So this is perfect for them. Doesn't mean I'm going to quit my primary company. That's, my long-term plan. And I've done well with it in my first year. That's my long-term plan. I'm going to stick with it. And a lot of you might choose to do the same thing, or you might know leaders. You might come across leaders in the industry who are really, loyal to their company. But to look this over and not help people out who need a cash injection in their group who are struggling, I think it would be a big mistake. Also, there are people that I have on auto ship in my primary company who get off auto ship and disappear, right? How many of you have experienced that? I've got people that, have worked with me and stuff, and then they disappear, and I notice, oh, they dropped off the radar. Those are people that I'm now reaching out to. I'm going to plug into this because they clearly need a cash injection. A lot of those people love the products in my company. They love the opportunity, but they clearly need a cash injection in order for us to continue the mentorship and help them in my other program. This can give them almost immediately that cash injection. And there's something else I'll be talking about as well that we're using this for in our marketing. But let me go look inside my site and show you some things in here. So my account, you might be wondering, well, your kids did really well that you placed underneath you. How are you doing? You know, I've never seen anything like it, guys. So I don't know if you can see this well enough, but it's 154 ETH in 3.5 weeks. Now, when that was deposited into my wallet, because that was it paid in payments during this time, between when I joined 3.5 weeks ago and today, the dollar amount would have been $62,000. But I just want you to know, Ethereum is going to keep going up, most likely. Again, I'm not your financial advisor, so you know you never know what's going to happen in the future. But my belief is ETH is going to continue to go up. If you do some research, you'll see a lot of people believe that, and it certainly has gone up a lot since I started even 3.5 weeks ago. So the cash amount is actually much higher now. But this is showing the dollar amount that I received in my wallet, you know, from the day I joined 3.5 weeks ago. 154 ETH translated into 62 grand in my account. So that's in addition to my son and daughter's account that I placed underneath my position here. So I actually don't recommend that you do that. You know, I didn't know what I was doing. This kind of proves that you don't have to really know what you're doing to do well, but I wouldn't recommend that you get 3 positions. It was a little stressful at first to get 3 and to have to manage 3. And we'll talk a little bit about strategy at the end of this, and what I've seen has helped people the most, because if everybody had duplicated that, I think they would have been overwhelmed. I certainly was at first. I was able to manage it because I brought in a lot of people under people in my team, right? But not everybody can do that. So 1 position is smarter to create momentum. We'll talk about that team building strategy at the end of this. So I'll let the videos that we have for you that are only like 11 minutes long explain how all this works in detail. But just to give you the skinny on it, there's these 2 different payment plans, the Forsage X3 and the Forsage X4. And the Forsage X3, when you buy, let's say, position 1, then when you sell the smart contract at position 1, you're going to get paid 0.025 ETH in the X3. And you're going to also be buying that in the X4 at the same time. You're going to get paid 0.025 ETH in the first position that either you get or that your team gets. And we'll talk about that team building strategy in a little bit. You get paid again with the second position that's purchased, whether you made that sale or, you know, because you referred somebody or your team did. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. The third one rolls up to your upline. Now we're teaching, and what we're doing is no wider than 2 at first, so we can drive the energy down. Again, I'll talk about that strategy a little bit later. And then once there's momentum, then we build the third. So at first you're just getting 2 going. And then once there's momentum and the whole team's helping make that happen, and that's why we're getting these crazy results, because you're helping people see results right away, and then all of a sudden their beliefs skyrocket. So I'll talk about the team building strategy at the end of this, and that's really what's really making this go. And then as that gets momentum, then you can start building your third leg. And then that creates what we call cycling, because when you start your third leg, that rolls to your upline, and the people that start their third leg below you, that rolls to you, and so on. Now, there's other things that can create cycling, where payments down below, infinite levels deep, roll up to you. And one example is, if let's say somebody comes in at position 2, and then the team signs up somebody at position 3 underneath them. We try to match them up because we want to help people, you know, maximize the plan. But sometimes there's just someone comes in at a higher level, there's nowhere else to put them. So someone who came in at position 3 might go under someone at position 2. So the person at position 2 won't get paid. Sorry, let me just say it this way. The person at position 2 would get paid on position 1 and 2, but the third position payment would roll up. And that's another way cycling can happen, because it rolls up to the upline. You can only get paid at the position you're at. So another way to explain that, and again, we have 11 minutes of 2 videos that are 11 minutes long that can explain this in detail. I don't want to have that be what I cover here too much, but just to give you a concept, there's lots of ways that payments can roll up infinite levels deep. That's one of them. Somebody comes in underneath somebody else at a higher level, that extra payment would roll upline. Again, if somebody starts a third leg, that would roll upline and create that cycling. And you want to see that. That's what allows payments to take place infinite levels deep. What I tell people is this. you could start with where it's comfortable for you. Don't overextend. You can start for as little as about 20. Now, Ethereum's up a little bit, so $25 of Ethereum. That would start you at position one in the X3 and one in the X4. And then from there, don't put any more money in. If that's where you have to start, if losing more than that, let's say, God forbid, the internet exploded tomorrow. I don't know what else could take this down, but because it's decentralized, there's no way to remove it unless the internet goes down. But whatever happens, or let's just say you have a mental breakdown or whatever it might be, right? Anything can happen. The world might start spinning the opposite direction. Who knows what's going to happen tomorrow? So let's just say if losing more than $20, $25 would be a nightmare for you and your family, then don't put more than that in there. Start where you can start, and then never put more in. Never buy more positions except for with what you've earned, with the team building strategy and with your efforts. And then you can upgrade that way. And I'll talk more about that strategy in a bit. Now, I started at position 6. I never put any more money in, and I was able to get all the way up to position 10 and still profit massively. I think my total profits are somewhere around $90-some thousand in total between me and my kids' 2 positions. And that's after taking what I was earning to move from position 6 all the way to 10. So again, you can watch some videos to really break down the compensation structure, and just get with the person who referred you here, and they can put you in touch with those videos. And I'll actually show you that page here in a minute in case you haven't seen it. But just understand that it's extremely simple. It's extremely low risk because you can start it with as little as 20 to 25 ETH. There's no auto payments. And you can then take what you're earning and move your way all the way up. And if you get to position 12, you're getting paid 51 ETH when sales at position 12 take place underneath you, whether you brought them in or not. I'm only at position 10, and you see how much I'm earning. So imagine what it's like at position 12. It's absolutely incredible. And again, don't overextend. I was able to comfortably, I thought, I'll start at position 6. That was about $1,100 in ETH in total, because you have to buy position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the X3 and X4. And that totaled to about $1,100 in ETH at the time I got started about 3.5 weeks ago. And now I started helping my team with the team building strategy, which I'll show you later in this call. And from that, I was able to earn enough to go all the way up to position 10 in both of these, the X3 and X4, and profit considerably. And that's what I suggest everybody do. Start where you're comfortable. Don't overextend financially. Make sure it feels safe. And then whatever that is, even if it has to be at $20 to $25 ETH, $20 to $25 worth of ETH in position 1, if that's where you have to start because you're really struggling right now, then that's where you start. And then that's it. And now you work with your team to move up the ranks. If you want to get up to the bigger payments faster, then start at a higher level if you can financially afford to do that without it being stressful. It's a beautiful thing that we have something to offer people now that is truly the lowest risk opportunity I've ever seen in my life. It's lower risk than a traditional network marketing opportunity. Nothing has ever existed like this before. It is absolutely mind-boggling how low risk it is, with the high return potential for those that are producing anything or are on a team that's producing. And guys, those of you on this call right now, you've got some phenomenal leaders who've invited you here. You're on a phenomenal team. So again, no guarantees, but if you want to win in basketball, get with an all-star team. If you want to win at NASCAR driving, you better have an all-star driver and an all-star team. Same thing here. If you're on an all-star team, obviously that gives you massive advantages that you want to take advantage of. So this is pretty incredible, guys. I'm going to go back here and show you some other really neat things. And just remember, 3.5 weeks ago, I was brand new. I didn't have Ethereum. I didn't have a wallet. I didn't know how. It's so simple and so exciting and working so well. All I can say is, if you decide to move into it, you're going to be swept up. You're going to be embraced by an amazing community and people who will help you like they helped me. And if you just apply yourself a little bit, you're going to get 10x, 20x, 100x the results that I believe you can get anywhere else. I will be talking at the end of this about, for those of you who have a primary company or opportunity that you're excited about, like I do, that's more of a, long-term thing that you want to continue to do. This doesn't have to interfere with that. And that's helpful to know when you're talking to people who might be leaders in other companies that are really making good money, maybe where they're at, but don't want to miss this. So I'll share a little bit of that in a minute. Now, for those of you who know what Telegram is, it's like a communication app. It's really easy to download. Again, our community can help you with that. Super simple, but it notifies us of the payment. So I get live Telegram payment notifications. And here's some examples. So on October 30th, I'm not going to show you all of them, but on October 30th, you get these constantly. October 31st, I got a notification that says payment was sent to your upline. So this is cool because you're seeing, because of the way the compensation structure works, some of the payments are sent upline, and you like that. You want to see that because that means you're going to get paid as your team's growing, all these infinite payments coming up to you. And again, you can watch the video to understand the comp plan in more detail. I covered it a little bit earlier, but you can watch the comp plan video. It's super simple. Just ask the person who referred you here for those videos, and I'll reference those again before we close out. That explains the comp plan. But this shows a payment was sent to my upline. I'm always happy to see that because that's how the comp plan works. And then I got another one on October 31st saying you received a profit, $1,232, because that's what it was worth at the time I got it in my wallet. That was 3.2 ETH that I got from, and it says X3 platform 8. That means from position 8. So someone in the X3 bought position 8 and it rolled up to me because of the comp plan. Then on November 4th, so I don't get payments every day, but you saw how much I made in 3.5 weeks. You don't have to get payments every day for this to be amazing. November 4th, it says reinvest. The payment was sent to your upline, and it tells me it was in the X4. Someone bought the 4th position. So again, you'll see a lot of them going up to your upline. That's what we love, because that means as our team's growing below us, lots of them are going to be rolling up to us too. It's just the way the comp plan works. So I'm not upset when I see that. November 6th, payment was sent to your upline again. Cool, because then the same day you received a profit, $5,133, 12.8 ETH. The comp plan's awesome. Someone bought position 10, and because I was at position 10, I got paid on that. Now, if I wasn't at position 10, that would have rolled up to my upline. But again, don't be worried if that happens to you, because it means you've got a team growing really fast and you're still going to get paid on all the things rolling up to you to the position you're at. And then you can use that Ethereum to get to the higher position later. So I know some people, they have kind of some sneaking thinking. So I just want to address this right up front. I'm going to say it again, if you're in a situation where payments are rolling past you because, let's say you're at position 9 and someone in your team bought position 10 because they could afford it, but you can't yet, and position 10 got passed up past you, that's not something to be upset about. It means your team is growing, and it means it's going to continue growing, and you're going to continue to receive payments paying you indefinitely on down on positions 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. And then you can take that Ethereum that you're accumulating, because you'll still get paid on all of that on that team, and use that to upgrade to position 10 when you can. So it's not a bad thing when that happens. It means it's growing. I would love to see people outgrow me and some of these pass me up. That means it's growing. And then when I'll catch up, with the money, the Ethereum that I'm making. So it's just phenomenal how it works together. And if you understand that if it's growing, that's good news. Even if they outgrow you, you're still getting paid on it onto the positions you're at. And you can use that ETH to march all the way up to position 12. It's absolutely phenomenal. November 7th, you received a profit, $10. I'll take it. It's not the big ones, but I love it when I get those. Also on November 7th, another Whopper. You received it. So this is Instagram Live giving me these notifications. It's connected to the site. It's pretty cool. You received a profit 2,566, 6.4 ETH. Tells me that someone bought position 9. November 8th, next day, you received a profit, $20. So that just keeps going. It's super, super cool. It's super, super fun. And as I showed you, and I only showed you some examples of the people that have been making money in a really short period of time, people that have struggled, many of them, to ever make anything in program after program before. Just understand, guys, I was only showing you a tiny sampling. Like when I go into my Facebook group, to our team in there, and a lot of you will be able to join that when you join up with us. And I say, hey guys, can you just share a snapshot of what you've made? It's like I just get bombarded. It's crazy. I've never, ever seen anything like it. So let's talk a little bit about strategy. So we call this the team building strategy. And you really try to get in a quiet place if you're not 100% in one now. it's really important you hear me on some things if you really want to see, some of these amazing results. Uh, if I had signed up, people wide, like if I hadn't helped my team, I don't think we would have seen anything close to this. And so it's the team building strategy that's really making this exciting. And you guys invited here tonight, you have some phenomenal leaders on your team who are here to help you build. Now, there's no guarantees. You don't want to be waiting on the third day and not producing anything. This isn't socialism, right? This isn't sit around and wait for people to make you rich. But as a strategy, and if you're a contributor, it's absolutely phenomenal what we're seeing people accomplish who've struggled for so long in program after program. They're not struggling here if they're applying themselves at all. And I think it's because of this team building strategy. So this is you. And then here's the main goal is to get two initially underneath you. Whether you brought them in, your team might help you. And I'm just saying to people, if your team helped you, make sure you pay it back, pay it forward by placing, people underneath as well. And don't wait. You know what I mean? Like I didn't wait. Like I'm going to go and I'm going to run and I'm going to contribute. And that's the people who get phenomenally rewarded. The one with that kind of mindset, even if they didn't bring a lot of people in, people tend to get rewarded who think like that, as opposed to people who wait around for somebody else to do it all for them. So we got to be careful with that. You want to really, really reward and feed those that are contributing to the team. But this is a aim, a strategy goal. So two people left and right, and then two under them. That's the goal, but it's not implemented and executed in that order necessarily. And it's so important to understand that. So that's the end goal, but it might look like this at first. There might be you, and then someone gets placed here, and then someone gets placed here. And then maybe you start building 2 by 2 under the green one. Now, why might you want to do that? Well, in my case, I was here at the top. I signed up somebody here who I knew had some potential to contribute, which is why I brought him in. But he didn't have a track record for being a big producer. And so when I found somebody the next day that coming in who I thought could be a producer and could really, really market and bring some action, I placed him here. And I knew that would be a big win for this guy here. And so then I focused here. And I thought if I could get this producer seeing how powerful this is, then this could really take off. So I started to build 2 by 2 here. Now, initially, this guy who I really love, he's an awesome dude, and he's really contributed a lot, by the way. But when I first started doing that, he's like, well, what about my other side? Why don't you place some people over here? And I was like, dude, if we get this guy going, oh, and we did. If we get this guy going, and we show him how powerful this is, and we build 2 by 2, and he starts getting some ETH, this leg's going to take off. That's going to take care of you just fine. And it has. And so, you really want to think this way. You don't want to think about what's in it for me. You want to, because, if I was thinking that way, I would have put them all on my front level. And I don't think I would have gotten anything close to this result had I done that. So you don't want to think about when am I going to get mine. You want to think about how can I contribute and how can I help others win. If you put your focus here in this program, you're going to be wildly rewarded. So help others make ETH. That's where my mind's at all the time. And that's where your mind should be at. Whether you're a producer or not, and you're brand new to marketing and you don't even know what to do, if you come into the team thinking, how can I help others make ETH? You're going to do really well. So let's look at this little illustration here. So this is you at the top. And if you get someone over here and someone over here, whether you place them or the team place them, you now have made enough ETH already to upgrade to the next position. And that's why people can come in wherever they're comfortable starting, whichever position they're comfortable starting, and through this team building strategy, use the Ethereum they're making to stair step their way to the really high levels where you make a lot of ETH. And I've got a lot of people in 3.5 weeks making a lot of ETH because of this strategy. But here's also something pretty cool to know. Here as well, if this is you, someone ends up here and then someone ends up here, you can now upgrade to the next position as well. So this is why it's working so well. It doesn't take much in order to see a result, in order to earn your ETH back and have enough to upgrade to the next level. So we work together as a team to stair step our way to position 12 without any more out-of-pocket expense. So you start from where you're comfortable starting, you come into it wanting to help others, you work together as a team, and then this rewards you massively and quickly. There's something else I wanted to mention on strategy, and then I'm just going to close this out. I'll show you the videos that I encourage you to watch as your next step if you haven't already. And then I'll let you go study those tonight so you can really understand the compensation plan and get any questions you have answered from the person who referred you. So this may or may not be of interest to you, and it doesn't have to be. I haven't implemented it yet, but those who know me know that I create marketing funnels, and I create those to help my team. And so you guys are all getting in front of all of this. So, and it's also, this will help you understand how I'm using this and integrating this with my primary program without it interfering with my primary program, because my primary program I'm very passionate about. The products changed my life. I've made good money with it, and I see it as an opportunity to continue mentoring people long term, and to be mentored by leaders in the company. And I just love it. I want to be with them for decades, and I can build an income for decades, and I can help other people build an income for decades. But this is a cash injection on a scale I've never seen before. And so I'm going to offer this to people. So I mentioned earlier, first, I'm offering it to people that I've worked with who have struggled in my primary company. They need a cash injection. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to them. I knew that they needed a cash injection, or I might lose the opportunity, as I have every right to, if I can't help them with one of their greatest needs to bring in some money, then I don't deserve to continue to be their mentor. And so I brought this to them in order to provide that cash injection, and it has provided that for many of them at a scale I didn't even dream of in just a short period of time. And you guys can think of it the same way. If you're in a primary program and you see people struggling, you're going to lose them anyway if you don't give them an opportunity to earn some cash right away. So now that I've done that, we're going to continue building our primary program long term. And now I can continue that mentorship with them. There's also a group of people, like I mentioned earlier, who've gotten off auto ship and disappeared off the radar. I'm going to reach out to them and let them know about a cash injection opportunity and tell them, hey, look, if I help you get a cash injection, would you be interested in continuing with our primary program and get back on auto ship? And I have no doubt that if I were to help them, which I know that I can do with this, that they're going to say, absolutely. That's a positive win-win. But also, and what I'm getting at here, well, let me back up. Let me mention one more. As I'm prospecting for my primary program, I know not all of you are, but some of you are. You may come across some of your best connections out there might be already actively in another program, so this would apply to them. So this will be helpful for you to remember. As I'm prospecting for my primary program, many of those people just aren't in a position to build with my primary program. They're too desperate financially. They're hurting too much. The concept of them paying on auto ship and all this kind of stuff is just overwhelming to them. But if I can show them a way to come in for $20, $25 of Ethereum, work with this team building strategy, start getting some cash coming in a relatively short order, now I've got their attention. And so there's a lot of prospects I come across day to day building my primary business where I can just tell there's just no way they're going to be able to focus enough to build the primary business. I follow back up with them in a day or two and I say, hey, look, I could kind of sense you need a cash injection. Let me know if you'd be interested in an opportunity for a cash injection. And then we can look at, this primary program that I introduced you to. And almost every time they're interested. So, and then the other thing, and this is what this image is about, is I'm putting together a marketing funnel. And this is the kind of stuff that I do and have done for years, where I'm going to create advertising that leads with Forsage. And I'm going to let everybody, here that joins in, be able to access this as soon as it's ready. It might take me a few weeks to get this done, but typically these are pretty powerful and effective. So just so you know, this is coming. And those of you getting here in early have some advantages. So we advertise and we promote this as a cash injection opportunity on the front end. It cuts through the noise. It gets the attention of the business op world who are getting inundated with all these get rich quick schemes. Here's like a true opportunity, extraordinarily low risk, legitimate, extraordinary situation for them to get a cash injection without a lot of risk, without a company running off with their money. And a lot of these programs they're getting involved with, they don't realize it, but they aren't good opportunities. They're putting their money into a company that can run off in the end. So we're going to educate them a little bit in this marketing and let's show them how powerful this can be. And then once they get that cash injection, once again, now we've earned their respect and they've gotten their attention, gotten them on their feet in short order. And now we can back in them into your primary program. So if you're in another company or another opportunity you're passionate about, this is a powerful way to build a list and build relationships and help people now with a cash injection. And then you can back in them into your longer term opportunity because you've gotten their attention and gotten them on their feet. So this is something that I'll be putting together as well that you guys will have access to. Guys, it really is a phenomenon. I've seen people do things in this that if their life depended on it before couldn't enroll or sell anything, and they're just going to town. And I've also seen leader after leader after leader being drawn to this. It's going to create, 7 and 8 figure earners. This is an opportunity to be able to attract those kinds of people if you have any contacts in the network marketing industry. It is an absolute phenomenon. It's going to continue to sweep across the industry for probably several years. The only reason why it won't last forever is because, like anything that's new, eventually, it's not new anymore. And right now, every day, there are copycat programs cropping up. This is the original. I always like to go with the original. You never know what you're going to get with the other ones. They might be smoke and mirrors. This is the real thing, the first. Started in February. And I believe it's going to go strong for quite some time. And it's going to sweep across the industry and give people that much needed cash injection that they need right now. It's an opportunity to help people in a way that I have never, ever seen before. And I'm truly excited about it. I started out very conservative. I started out very skeptical. But as I started to realize and learn what it was, that it was true peer-to-peer payments and see how well people were doing who struggled so much, I've become truly excited about it in a way that I did not expect. So, I think this is an opportunity to accomplish some extraordinary goals, guys, towards the end of this year and into next, beyond your wildest dreams if you apply yourself. So your next step, get with the person who sent you here and ask them if you haven't seen it already, or if they got it, if they sent it to you and you didn't watch it yet, watch these 2 videos at this link that they can get you. Just ask for the videos that I referred to. The first video is like 6 minutes long. The second video, I think someone like 5 minutes long. It's really all you need to understand the smart contract and to understand the compensation in detail. And that's it. That's all I've been doing is sharing the 11 minutes of video between those 2 videos. And then I ask people which position they'd like to come in at. I mentioned that there's a slow track, a middle track, and a fast track. The higher position you could start, the faster track you're on, because if we go here, if somebody, like I started at position 6, I'm already halfway to 12 where you can make 51 ETH in one transaction. You know what I mean? And so I started at 6, and then I brought a couple people in who came in at a 6. Now I had the ETH upgrade to 7. And I just kept doing that through building the team strategy. And that's what we're helping others do through that team strategy I talked about. So I asked, do you want to start in the slow lane, the middle lane, or the slow track, the middle track, or the fast track? And I say, don't overextend, start where you can start. Once you've decided where you're going to start, even if it's position 1, if it's position 3, if it's position 6, I don't care where it is, wherever you're comfortable, that's where you start. And then we work together as a team to help you move up to these high paying, Ethereum levels without any more out-of-pocket expense. And so guys, that's my recommendation to you. Get back with the person who sent you here. Ask for those videos if you haven't watched them. Watch the first 2. It's only 11 minutes. And then just decide, where do you want to start? Don't overextend. Start where you're comfortable, and then work together in that team building strategy I was talking about to be able to just go all the way up to these high paying levels. And as I showed you, like I've already gotten 154 ETH, 62 grand. I showed you what my son and daughter's positions got, who are right underneath you, just incredible sums of Ethereum in 3.5 weeks. And we're only at position 10. And I started at 6, and just through that team strategy, worked my way up to 10. And I shared with you other people that had joined us who we worked together in that team building strategy to do the same thing. So you guys can do it too. I know you can, if you take action. That's what it all comes down to, guys. If you take action. I've never, ever seen a team like Susan and Wendy and Kurt and those who've invited you here, Phyllis, and there's so many amazing leaders all grouped together. You're going to have the advantage of working with those incredible leaders. So thanks again, Susan, for inviting me here. And guys, next step, watch these videos, ask some questions, decide what position you want to start at, and come on in. I look forward to seeing you guys inside. All right, everybody, that's a wrap. Looking forward to meeting you and working with you. We'll see you soon. Good night, everybody.